Chef Jamie Bissonnette from Toro NYC. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah. What are we doing?
We're gonna play around with some bones. I've always wanted you to play with my bone. I love bone marrow. 26 essential amino acids, soluble protein.
Is that really true?
Yeah, it's really good for you. Bone marrow has such great flavor. It's not just about scooping it onto bread. It's about how it can flavor vegetables.
Will we be able to scoop it onto bread as well?
Well, yeah, that's why I have the bread. I knew you were gonna say that.
All right, so what's the first step?
Well, first step, we're gonna get one of these onto the cooler side of this plancha.
And then so you're saying like you can go to the butcher's and actually ask for bone marrow?
Yeah, you know, go to Chelsea Market, Union Square Market
Okay.
sometimes. You can get bone marrow frozen. Keep it in the freezer, pull it out the night before you want to use it. You want to cook it till it's just warm, like medium rare. If you get it too hot, it gets kind of boogery.
Yeah.
Nobody likes boogers.
No. Unless you're 3.
We'll let it sit there while we prepare our vegetables.
Perfect.
We're gonna take some carrots. I'm just gonna kind of roll cut them. Do you want to do some knife work again?
I love, yeah. See if I
So
can-
cut it
like this?
Yeah, just to get like some more oblique
Yeah,
cuts.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, we've got some radishes, some red scarlet turnips.
Turnips.
Yeah. So when you cut them inside there,
Beautiful.
a little bit of red scarlet.
I remember as a kid, like not like avoiding turnips, but I don't think I'd want to avoid that. That looks delicious.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. Did you ever have these?
What is it? It's
It's a
a
high curry white turnip. Try it raw.
tastes almost like kohlrabi or cabbage, right?
Yeah.
You know, so a plancha. What's the definition of a plancha?
Think of like a pancake griddle, like at a diner, but times 2 on the heat factor. Planchas are made to cook really quickly, really hot. You get a really awesome Maillard reaction, so you get that caramelization of the sugars and the protein. And on the vegetables, you just get really good caramelization of their sugars.
So I just need to install the plancha in my apartment.
Or just come over here. Yeah, see how quickly it already starts to
Yeah, it
caramel.
looks gorgeous. Yeah. Almost looks like a when you toast a marshmallow like over a fire.
You see how the inside of the bone is starting to bubble?
Yeah.
So now it's safe to flip it over and start to render it out. But if you start off on the cut side, you end up cooking it so hot, and then over here is insulated by the cold bone, and you end up with really unevenly cooked
Right.
bone marrow. You just put your finger in there. See how it's just warm?
Yeah.
That's done. So we're gonna use to actually scrape that off and flavor all the vegetables.
Great. It's like melted, like completely melted down.
Don't try that at home. We're gonna let this one sit here to stay warm.
Yep.
If anything's dripping off of it, we'll let it drip onto these veggies.
Yeah, please do. If you're gonna eat vegetables, I prefer that it's coated in some sort of
Bone marrow.
meat marrow.
So we're gonna add some squash.
Is that any particular type of squash?
We had a green zephyr, and then this is a patty pan squash.
Oh.
We give that a little seasoning.
Yes, I can do it.
And those are gonna cook, as they like to say in Boston, wicked quick.
I think that there's a bit of an accent missing though. Can you try that again? How do they
I've
cook?
spent most of my life staying away from a New England accent, so no.
But you grew up there, right?
Yeah, I'm from Connecticut. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna toast up some bread. Actually, you want to take a couple of these, pick them like you would, and just throw them anywhere on the plancha. You don't even need to season them.
Okay. And how did you get into cooking Spanish food? I mean, you're not very Spanish, are you?
No, I'm Swedish, German, a little bit of French. I just loved it. You know, Ken, my business partner, and I both have a love for Spanish food. Like the idea of eating a little bit often and just having fun with food. Just fell in love with that culture.
Yeah, you know what you're reminding me of? Like my first trip to Benihana as a kid right now. With that thing, and yeah. If I back up, can you toss a shrimp in my mouth?
I don't think so. We just toasted off a little bit of bread.
And at this point, the bone marrow pretty much done, you think?
We're
Or-
done.
Yeah.
Yeah. First thing I always do, little bit of crunchy sea salt, and I love fried garlic. So
Who doesn't?
a little fried garlic down the middle. We're going to build some little crouton stuff, and then we can garnish it with all of our different vegetables. We're gonna do a little bit of lemon, and my favorite recent find, a little Hondurebi Zuri vinegar from the region where my favorite wines are from, Chocolat.
Yeah.
So
Which I love the wines of chocolate.
a little bit of purslane. We have bone marrow dish number 1. Now, this is the vegetables that just had.
This is the vegetarian option.
I'm just tearing up some of the bread, and we're going to dump the vegetables right into a plate.
That looks great.
And we're gonna hit this one with a boatload of olive oil.
That's a technical term, right?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. You changed my opinion about turnips.
Cool. And we have bone marrow dish, similar but different, number 2. This is a bone marrow dish. This is using bone marrow to make a vegetable dish.
Yeah. All right, we need to have some wine.
I'm down with that.
So sticking with the idea of Spanish, Rioja, and this is one of their Crianza wines. So, you know, like approachable when it's young, even though, you know, they release their wines pretty late in life.
I love wines like this from that region. They're so refreshing.
Tempranillo, I think, is delicious with any sort of like meat-driven dish. The wines have enough tannin to kind of cut through that fattiness, but it's still bright and fresh, and I think it's gonna work really well with the market vegetables that you got, but we're gonna find out. Cheers, man.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That smells great.
That smells really great.
Yep.
That's gonna go awesome with the turnips.
It has that like meaty kind of feel.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so I guess let's see how the wine works with the food.
Here, get a radish.
All right.
You go for it.
That's great. I have fat like oozing out of my face. That's pretty amazing. Salty, sweet, rich. I think it's good with the wine too.
I think it's great with the wine. It's rinsing that beautiful salty fat out of my mouth and leaving me with all the flavors that I want right after beautiful salty fat.
I bet for the most part, looking at this dish, most people would err in thinking you needed something like big, bold, tannic, like Cabernet or something like that.
Would that kill it?
I think it would. It would like overpower it, right?
Yeah. And this is the same thing, but it's a little bit more of a fork and knife.
It's like a salad.
Yeah, bone marrow salad. That's gonna go on the menu soon.
Really like fresh and rich, but you feel like it's good for you. Thanks for cooking for me, and thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I'm never leaving, man. I'm just gonna stay here all day long
You're
and let
allowed.
you feed me bone marrow vegetable sandwiches.